Hello, and good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to another 3 days of work from home makeup. Full disclosure, I work from home 5 days a week. I do not have to go into the office right now, so all my makeup is work from home. So this is just three in one. For the first look today, I will be using the Ensley Rain Flutter palette, which I'm quite excited about. It is stunning. I actually picked this up from I Feel Beautiful Canada. Super exciting to have a Canadian retailer. To start off, I am going to take the shade Wisp, which is that very interesting toned purple. And I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush and start to blend that through my crease and where I want it placed. Next, I will be going into the shade Echo, which is the deepest matte in the palette, and I will be using that to deepen up my outer corner, and I will also be taking that through my crease a bit and just getting a good blend with Wisp. And now going into the shade Serenity, I am going to take that on a medium-sized shader brush, and I am going to pack that against my lower lashes and give it a little blend as I go. And going back into the shade Echo, I am going to take an even smaller shading brush and press this right up against my lashes on my lower lash line and give that a blend with Serenity. Now prepping my eyes for the shimmer shades, I am taking my NYX glitter primer and I start by putting that on with a brush and then tapping it out with my fingers so there will hopefully be as few creases as possible in the primer. And from the Flutter palette, I am going into the shade Golden Hour, which is a stunning multi-chrome. And it has so many beautiful shifts. I can't even explain how beautiful this shadow is. It definitely is more beautiful in person than on video, you can really appreciate its beauty in person. And now taking a bit more of my white eye base because I want my inner corner to pop, and I'm putting a fairly light matte there, so I just want to give it the best chance I can to show up. And going into the shade Orchard Orange on a small fluffy brush, and I'm just going to pack that on my inner corner and get it as vibrant and opaque as I can. And going into the Incandescent Blush palette by Unearthly. This palette is absolutely amazing and I can't stop reaching for it. I am going into the shade Crystal, which is kind of a pinky purple shade, like a light purpley pink. And I am going in fairly heavy with it. These blushes are not super opaque. They definitely get opaque, but they are very easy to blend out, so I don't worry about putting too much on, even when it's a deeper shade. For highlight, I am going in with my Rare Beauty highlighter in Enlighten. I will be placing that where I want it and then cleaning off my brush and blending it out so it's not quite as harsh. And going into the Kaleidos highlighter Moon Cruiser, and also adding that as well, just to give it a bit of a bluish purple flip as well. And this is the finished look. I love how it turned out. I will say Ensley Rain is quickly becoming one of my favorite brands. Their mattes are fantastic for blending, and their shimmers are absolutely outstanding.
I don't even know what to get in your head. Seeking your attention, but simple instead. 'Cause I hope you look my way, but no, you didn't even see me gaze yesterday. Feeling every day like I'm going insane. 'Cause you and I are something I wish for every.
Welcome to day 2 of 3 days of work from home makeup. I am prepping my eyes with my white eye base from P.Louise, as always. And today I will be using the Nudetrals palette by Cosmic Brushes. I think they may have rebranded to Cosmic Beauty. Whichever it is their Neutrals palette. And that is what we will be diving into today for the first time. To start, I am going to take the shade Gentle, and I am going to blend that through my crease with a fairly large fluffy brush and just get the shape I want, and then do the same on my other eye.
Like me like that, like me like that, just like that. Slow it down. 'Cause I know I am nobody to
And next we will be going into the shade Lust, which is a gorgeous deep purple. And I will be using that to deepen my outer corner and my crease.
Small town, big crowd, and there you were in front of me. Small talk, big thoughts, all we wanted was to escape. This sounds too small for dreams like this. Don't wanna settle down, don't wanna miss out on adventures, things we haven't seen. Take my hand and follow me. Baby, we're leaving midnight. It's time for a change, let's get out of here. We'll never look back, this is our time.
I will also be taking the shade Lust on a small shader brush and running that along my lower lash lines and giving that a blend as I go. And now prepping my eyes for shimmers using NYX Glitter Primer. I am first going in with a brush and then I will tap it out with my fingers to get rid of as many creases as possible to give the shimmers the best chance to stay where they're supposed to. I will be going into the shade Luxe and I will be putting that all over my lid.
Take my hand and follow me. Baby, we're leaving midnight. It's time for a change, let's get out of here. We'll never look back, this is our time. We're leaving at midnight, leaving at midnight.
And going back into the shade Lust, I am just going to re-intensify that in my outer corner and anywhere I may have lost some of the intensity that I was looking to keep. Now going into the shade Radiant, I am going to put that on a brush and give it a little spray with a setting spray and put that in my inner corners and give it a little rub underneath my lashes as well. I have to say, in the pan, this looks like it's got like a really nice green iridescent. When it's on, there is actually also a red flip to it as well, and it is very beautiful.
Feeling every day like I'm going insane. 'Cause you and I are something I wish for every day.
And surprise, surprise, we're going back into the Incandescent Blush Palette by Unearthly Cosmetics. And I will be using the shade Pendulum, which is the deepest shade in the palette, and I have to say it goes on absolutely lovely. And then I took the shade Familiar, I believe, and I blended that in the front part and I kept Pendulum more towards the back of my cheekbones, towards my temple.
Like me like that.
For highlight, I am using my Rare Beauty highlighter in Enlighten. Once I get that placed where I want it, I will wipe off my brush and blend it out as best I can so the lines aren't quite as harsh. I don't want it to look quite as stark as it does. And I will also take a little bit of that Rare Beauty highlighter on a little brush and just tap it in my inner corners just to brighten that up a little bit. And then I am going into the Noctilucent palette by Blem Bunny and taking the shade Far Out, which has a purpley pink shift to it, and I just thought that would go quite nicely with the blush.
So I hope you look my way, but yeah, she didn't even see me gaze yesterday. 'Cause I know I am nobody to.
And this is the finished look. I really do like how it turned out considering I'm not much of a neutrals girly, but I feel like this has enough color in it that I am quite happy with it, and I look forward to jumping into this palette again.
Like me like that, just like that. Like me like that, oh, baby, like that, just like that, just like that. Like me like that.
Welcome to day 3 of work from home makeup. Once again, prepping my eyes with my white eye base by P.Louise makeup. Today we are using another palette by Ensley. I just got the Underland palette from I Feel Beautiful Canada, and I am very excited to dig into this. The shimmers look outstanding, and just from the 2 palettes of theirs that I've tried so far, I am stoked to try this. I am going to start with the shade Hallucination, which is like that mustardy yellow, and I'm going to take that on a large fluffy brush and start blending that through my crease.
Just like that, like me like that. Small town, big crowd, and there you were in front of me. Small talk, big thoughts, all we wanted was to escape. This sounds too small for dreams like this. Don't wanna settle down, don't wanna miss out on adventures, things we haven't seen. Take my hand and follow me. Baby, we're leaving.
Next, I am going to dip into the shade Rabbit Hole, and with another fluffy brush, I am going to use that to deepen my crease and put that in the outer corner as well, and blend it a bit with Hallucination.
Hands up, such a rush. I love having you here with me. To dream big is no sin. The sky has no limit, yeah, we're free. This sounds too small for dreams like this. Don't wanna settle down, don't wanna miss out on adventures, things we haven't seen. Take my hand and follow me. Baby, we're leaving midnight. It's time for a change.
And taking a small shader brush, I am also going to run the shade Rabbit Hole against my lower lashes and give that a blend as I go. And now prepping my eyes for shimmers, I am going in with NYX Glitter Primer. I'm starting by putting that on with a brush, and I will tap it out with my fingers to make it as crease-free as possible. First, I am going to go in with the shade Chaos, because I thought that would go very well with that mustardy matte. And I'm going to put that on the outer part of my lid. And now going into the shade Shatter Looking Glass and putting that over the rest of my lid. And once I saw this going on my lid, I kind of wish that I had just went in with this shade. It is absolutely beautiful, and I will definitely be reaching back in just for this shade. I want to do something with just this shimmer on my lid because it is so beautiful.
And it feels just like you want me to go now, but I hope you slow it down. Hope you slow it down, 'cause what I really need is your time. So will you like me like that? Just like that. Like me like that.
And picking up a little bit more of that shade and giving it a spray, I am going to put it in the inner part of my lower lash line where I don't have any mattes. And I probably pull that out a little further than I intend, but it is just so beautiful. I want to put it absolutely everywhere. And now into the shade Twisted Rabbit, which is the white matte in the palette, and I am just going to put that in my inner corner. And this went on quite well, especially considering I didn't put anything there to give it a strong chance to stand out. That was all by itself, and it did amazing. And going back into the Incandescent Blush Palette by Unearthly Cosmetics, I'm going into the shade Alchemy, and I am going to go fairly heavy-handed with that like I do most of my blushes and give that a blend out, and always blushing the nose. I don't care if people don't like it, it is one of my favorites. And using my Rare Beauty highlighter, I will be putting that down everywhere I want it, and then I will clean my brush off and blend it out so it is not quite as stark.
You want me to go now, but I hope you slow it down. Hope you slow it down, 'cause what I really need is your time. So will you like me like that?
And this is the finished look. I am absolutely obsessed with it. I love how all three looks turned out, and I can't wait to do this all again next week. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.